C-H-N-I-C-A-L. Ha-ha! So many difficulties. It's different. Can't do anything right. Ha-ha! Difficult. We got it? Are we on? Are we on? Okay. 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 Checking. Okay. I'm sorry. Song and dance. Everything working? Okay. 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 Checking. Okay. I'm sorry. Song and dance. Everything working? Okay. 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 Checking. Okay. I'm sorry. Song and dance. Everything working? Okay. 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 Hello, hello. Should I sing a song? Sing a song. Okay. We're so close, guys. We're so close. I can feel it. It's in my bones. Almost there. I'm just talking randomly. Okay. Did you guys like my spelling error? Wasn't that awesome? Okay. I can't. We're like, a little rough start. Let's start again. Hi. My name is Erin Nelson, and I work for the Sip and Paint Studios. I'm just going to quickly go through it because I don't know what you guys heard and what you didn't hear. But basically, we're awesome. We're just faking it right now. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's get started. We have this painting that we're going to do today. You should have on you should have some paintbrushes. So you should have a selection of paintbrushes. I like to use like the great big paintbrush here, okay? So you should have like maybe an inch paintbrush. Hi guys, we have some visitors. And we have a medium paintbrush. I don't know if we're gonna use this one or not. We're gonna find out here. I didn't use it myself, but maybe you guys might be comfortable with doing so. I also have a couple of little slender guys. So if you guys hear me talk about like Big Papa, because we like to talk about our paintbrushes in terms of wrappers, right? So we've got Big Papa, we've got Slim Shady, and we've got Baby, okay? So we're going to start, guys, with Big Papa. And what I like to do is give him a bath. Go ahead and get him wet. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to move as, well, not too slowly, but I'm going to move at a nice rate. So I hopefully, if you guys are like falling behind or something, just give us a heads up. Ryan is on the controls right now, so he's running that. But I'm going to be taking this canvas and I'm going to be moving it aside just so I can paint. It will come out of the picture, but I'll bring it back in every now and then so you guys can see where we are, okay? So this is very, very good to start. Very easy to start. Simply get Big Papa wet, and we're going to get this canvas wet. So how easy is this, okay? Just work the water into the canvas. And the reason we do this is we make sure that the paint is going to move nicely across the canvas. And just FYI, I did not talk about the paint, so I'm going to tell you really fast what I use. We're just using this very, very inexpensive, this is Artist Loft, and I like to just choose the primary and secondary colors. So, primary colors, because primary colors will be mixed to make secondary colors, right? So, get little kiddos looking in, it's kind of cute, it's adorable. But anyways, though, we are going to have yellow, red, blue, white, and black. And if you guys want to like be bold and do your own colors, go for it. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. So if you want to make a yellow background instead with a purple feather, go for it. I'd love to see that. If you want to follow along though on what I'm doing, all I have done here is on my palette, you can see here, I have put the blue and the red and the yellow and the white fairly far apart from each other because we're going to mix some right in the middle. And the first color we're going to do is we are going to work with the blue. So we're going to actually start, all your canvases should be kind of on the wet side, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of catch up really fast here. So this bottom half in here, we're going to paint this just pure blue. How easy is that? So let's go ahead and dip Big Papa right into blue paint. If you need to, and you got to add a little bit of water to thin out your paint, that's fine, okay? So you're welcome to do that. If you have excess water, you might want to roll that excess water off the edge of your cup, okay? So just roll it right off so it's not too runny. I also like to have like a paper towel so I can always kind of dab if I need to. Take that blue paint. Everybody probably has different paint brushes, so we're just going to kind of go with really simple measurements, all right? So for this first measurement, it's just basically your finger high. Go ahead and make a little line right there. And right over here, do the same thing, okay? And then let's paint a perfectly straight line. Do you like it? It's perfectly straight, right? No, it's not, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is paint that nice, bold blue right up to the center. So if you were to visualize this being cut in half, somewhere right in there, again, this does not have to be perfect. We're blending here, okay? We want this to be blended. Make that perfectly straight line again. Go ahead and take the time to paint this from here to here blue. So I'll give you guys a second to do so. It's okay if it's a little see-through also. Some of these acrylic paints are going to be see-through, but we're going to put many layers on. And the nice thing about working with acrylics is that they dry really fast. So if you make a mistake or anything, don't panic. Well, you can if you want. It's kind of fun. But if you want to, you can just simply paint that across, let it dry if you made a mistake, and you can paint right over it. Also, if you'd like to cheat a little bit, a hairdryer, you can run and grab a hairdryer real fast, and just a little zhoosh, that will take care of it really fast. Make that dry. Now, here's a little hint, okay? When you are painting these colors, I'm going to add a little bit more water here just to show you guys. When you are painting these colors, I like to grab enough paint on my paintbrush. Do not be afraid to put paint on your paintbrush. I've seen people put just tiny little dabs. You want to really make this stuff go from one end of the canvas to the other end of the canvas. So put some paint on your paintbrush, please. And then pull this all the way across. So when you are finished, you are going to have a nice straight line, and you can take that right off the canvas. We don't want to see little streaks like this, okay? Unless you like that type of technique. But I'm going to go with the nice smooth blend, okay? So we're going to put paint on the paintbrush, travel that paintbrush from one end of the canvas all the way across to the other side, and then take it on back. Look at that. The nice, smooth strokes of paint from one end to the other end. There we go. Pretty. Love it. Okay, get off as much paint as you can from your paintbrush when you're ready. But I'm going to wait a couple seconds. I'm just going to let you guys kind of catch up a little bit. And when you are done, don't wash off your paintbrush. You don't need to. And if you already have, no, I'm kidding. No, if you already have, that's all right. Don't worry about it. You can leave it clean if you want. It doesn't matter. But I'm just going to simply smear off some of this excess blue paint right onto my palette. And without cleaning off my brush, I'm going to go right into bright red. Beautiful red. Lovely red. And the next little step we're going to do, I got a nice hefty amount of red on my blue brush, okay, on Big Papa. We're going to skip about, again, a finger's height, so from there to there. So that's about that high. We're going to make another perfectly straight red line now, from here to here. You see how there's a little bit of blending already happening there? I don't know if you can see that or not. I hope you can. But we're going to take this red and we're going to pull it up first, and then we're going to blend it all together. So here we go. Let's put some more red on that paintbrush if you need to. Paint red, and you can go all the way up to the top. Look at that. See how I got some purple already happening there? Because red and blue make purple. Remember kindergarten, right? If you say no, that's okay. All right. All the way to the top. Add a little bit of water to your paint if you need to. If you need to scratch it in like that just to get the paint on the canvas, then go for it. Put it on like that first. Then go right back over it with red on the paintbrush all the way across. Look at that. It's beautiful. Okay, going across all the way off the canvas, trying to get rid of any noticeable brush strokes, okay? So from one end to the other end. Lovely. Okay, I'm going to keep them a little bit on the separate side for now. When you're done with this part here, don't wash off your paintbrush. Go ahead and leave this a little on the filthy side, okay? Because we're going to go right into white paint when you guys are ready. Sound effects are necessary. Please do them, okay? I'm going to, yeah, they do help. Ryan says they help, and it's true. It's very true. I'm going to pull this back up here so you can see kind of where we're going. Okay? So you can see there's a little bit of that pinky red happening up here. And we're going to dive down into this lovely blue color. Again, it doesn't have to be these colors. If you guys have chosen to do something completely off the wall, awesome. I would love to see it. But I also love to see how you guys' progress is going too as we're continuing on. Okay. Are we ready to move ahead? All right. We're going to very slightly, just the very, very tip of that paintbrush into white paint. Hope you guys can see that. All right. We're going to put a little bit of water on there too so it smears very nicely right underneath this red. All right. And we're going to blend this red down into the blue. So you can do some more white, please. You see how it's looking pink? We want that. A little bit more white. Remember, we're doing a couple different layers here too, so if it's not quite the color that you want yet, that's all right, because we're going to be making like 2 or 3 layers of paint here. If you have any questions, just throw them our way, and Ryan will tell me if you guys have a question, and I will address it. Okay, look at that. So we're going to go from, here's this lovely blending happening up here. We're starting to blend down into here. So I haven't washed off my paintbrush yet. So I still have white and red on my paintbrush. I'm going to go into the red a little bit over the top of that white, because we're going to start up here just above here. And we're now going to blend from right above that white streak all the way down. Let's make some lovely blending. If it's not blending nicely for you, if you are seeing like these bands of individual colors, that's all right. Just take your paintbrush and smoosh it up a little bit. Kind of cool, huh? Right across. Blend it back in. Look at how nice that was. We're going to continue with this red now, because a red over blue is going to make green, right? No? No. Okay. I know. Nerd alert right here. But let's go into the red. Red. Right over the top of this blue. All right? Let's do it. Make it happen. Here we go. Again, if that paint is not moving for you, you guys can see how it's kind of making these funny marks here. That's called dragging. We kind of like to avoid that a little bit, so add a little bit more water to your paint if you need to. And blend that right on in. Chew, chew, chew. Look at that, I'm going right on up with this red. I'm going to go right on down now. More red on my paintbrush. Whee! If you've gotten a lot of water on your paintbrush and you have accidentally like wiped clean an area of your canvas, because this is usually where that kind of takes place a little bit, that's all right. Just simply damp off the excess water either onto your paper towel or right into your cup. Roll it off the edge of the cup like I was showing you guys, okay? And then you can ignore that area for about 30 seconds and it should dry, and you can paint right over the top of that again. So see, look at that right there. That's a very good example. So in this case here, I'm just going to, look at that, I'm going to smush it in. What does Bob Ross say, everybody? Happy little mistake. There are no mistakes, only inspiration. Patent pending, that's my little thing right there. Putting that onto a t-shirt, okay? Sipping paint. Only inspiration. Oh, lovely. I like it. Okay, look at this. We're going right back into a red blend down in here. We're going to go straight red onto this bottom half down here. Again, I have not cleaned off my paintbrush. We are blending, folks. It's all about the blend. That is a really pretty color. I like a car that color. That's pretty. All the way off the canvas from one end to the other end. Whoosh. And continue on that blending. All right. And again, if it still looks like it's a little too layered for you, now's a good time to kind of fix that. So I put a little bit of red paint on my paintbrush, and I'm going to do that same little zigzag. I'm pulling that blue right down into the red. How easy is that? It's kind of fun to do. It's like you're pretending to do cursive. Okay. That's great. Okay. So this part up here is getting on the dry side. It should be a little on the dry side. If you wanted to put on another layer, that's perfect time to do this. If you're happy with how it's looking right now, you can stop at this point and just kind of let it dry a little bit. Just hang out. I'm going to do a little bit more blending up in here. I'd like to kind of make this a little on the darker side myself. So I'm going to put some more red right in here. Just a little bit. I don't want it to go to bright red. I still want that blue to kind of peek on through. I'm just kind of getting those corners a little bit. Which reminds me, guys, if you would like to make this beautiful when it's hanging up on your living room wall, because that's where this is going to go, right? You can go ahead and take that paint and you can roll it right around to the top. That way, when you're hanging this on the wall, you're not seeing this type of a thing from the side, right? It'll be a nice, beautiful edge. You can either do that with the color that you're working with, or you can do that with like a black paint at the end. Sometimes it's easier to do that at the end. Keep that in mind. It's all good. But look, it's a little bit different. That's okay. I don't mind. I like it. Okay. So if you want it exactly identical, you can go with a little bit more dark down here to make that more of your midnight blue. Okay. So something to consider if you guys ever want to get into like art, conceptual art or art design. I highly recommend getting or checking out a color wheel. So while this is drying here a little bit. Okay. So the colors that I chose for this painting here, these are your reds and your blues. So the feather, if you notice, what's the opposite of purple? Purple on the color wheel. You mix this here. Opposite purple is going to be orange. Okay? So if you ever want to pick up a color wheel, this is great for that. Look for your opposites. Opposite colors will always vibrate off of each other. So these are really great to have for beginners. Or just simply look one up on Google. But before this completely dries, now, and if it already has completely dried, that's all right too. This technique will still work. I'm going to grab a little baby Wayne here. This little tiny guy. And we're going to use the back side here. And we're going to make our feather. So I hope everybody's caught up a little bit. I'm trying to keep this moving, but not too fast. If you are falling behind, just give me a heads up, okay? But, so this feather lives in this quadrant over here. We're going to basically start him like the width of your paintbrush, which is just shy of halfway across, and about an inch or two down, or a knuckle down, okay, from the top. So that's where we're going to start. And over here, it's going to be basically a finger length over and a finger length up, okay? So that's the point there. So let's do that. So again, about paintbrush over, just shy of that center line here, a little bit over, and about a knuckle length deep, right there. Scratch that in. Little tiny scratch right there. If you can't see it, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to point it out. There it is. Okay, over here on the bottom corner, we're going to go one finger length over this way, and one finger length up. Bam, right there. B42. Okay, so we're going to draw our feather. Here we go. Does not have to be a perfect line. This is a feather. We're just going to go whoosh. I let it dry a little bit, but that's okay. Scratch it in. All right? That's going to give you a good starting point. And now we're going to go ahead and use Baby Wayne. Get him wet. Give him a bath. Your paint water, by the way, your paint water will get dirty, and that's quite all right. The nice thing about using acrylic paints is that you can simply wash your paintbrush off in there, and even though it looks filthy, it's going to rinse away. So you take some of that water, smush it around in that white paint, and you'll see like any coloration will kind of disappear. And this paint does not have to be perfectly white either for this technique, okay? So, because this is a little on the dry side, we're going to go ahead and just skip to the next step, which is let's take our real thin paintbrush. I'm just going to hold this up too so you guys can kind of see this. Okay, so I'm going to take the paintbrush and I'm going to give it a nice little twist and a little roll and kind of pull it off. That's going to give it a really nice thin little tip there. So it will make a very thin line. Barely touching the canvas. Go ahead and just go whoosh. Takes a little bit of confidence. Just do it. Like, take a deep breath. You can do this. Nice line going all the way through from one scratch mark to the next scratch mark. That is the center of our feather. How cool is that? Okay. Maybe make it a little bit thicker down there. That's all right. Next step we're going to do is we're going to start on the edges. Again, we're going to do this very lightly with that little rolled tip. And we're going to start by just going down a little tiny bit from the very top. Just start here, and then you can start over here. Just like that. And the reason we're not continuing this line down is if you look at a feather, I should have brought a feather, but I did not, so we'll have to use imagination station. So we're going to go ahead and like pretend like this feather just fell off of a bird and it's all ratty. Bird plucked it off, right? So we want it to have things that make it look like a feather. We're going to give it a couple little filaments hanging off of there. Just a little bit. A little V there, a little V there. Just like feathers have in real life. And we can continue this down. Now just keep in mind, we want there to still be that little bit of a stem there. And so if you wanted to, you can actually start from down here. Let's start with some whiskers. They have a little bit of whiskers happening down in here, that downy fuzz. Now that we have that, we're going to continue this downy fuzz going up towards the top, but all your filaments are going to be angled upwards, right? So let's go ahead and make some whiskers, filaments, angled up towards the top. Now we should be seeing a feather. We want this to look like a feather and not a leaf, right? So these are all the little tiny details that kind of really make a difference. All right. Do you see what I did there? Look at that. We have a feather, guys. How cool is that? Everybody doing okay? Yeah? Oh, good. I'm so glad to hear that. That's awesome. Okay. We're going to go ahead. You can put in a couple little fun little filaments there. Let's wash off our paintbrush now. Give it a good wash. Spin it around in that water. Tap off that excess water. We're going to go directly into yellow paint with the little tiny guy. Come on, baby, do your stuff. Here we go. Right, bright yellow. We're going to go on the right side of the feather. Little filaments. If you go past that line right there, it's all over. No, okay. If you go past that little line, that's okay, because again, this is going to all lend itself to being a feather, making it look like the real thing, folks, in rainbow fashion. I did not make that solid. Can you see how there's still like the color from the background is showing through this feather? That's what you want. If you did make it solid by accident, if you already filled it in all yellow, that's all right, because remember, it dries and you can put that purple back into there if you wanted to. But let's just start with a few little bits of yellow. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a couple down in this area too. Here, let's give them a couple little whiskers that are yellow. Yeah, just one over there. Why not? Okay, look at that. Lovely. I'm not going to wash off my paintbrush because we're going to make orange. Now, here's a trick to orange, okay? So when you're making the orange, the red is very, very greedy and likes to gobble up a lot of yellow. So I'm going to mix. I'm going to pull the palette up here. Okay. Can you guys see that okay? We're going to do yellow. I'm pulling out a lot of yellow. And I'm just going to do a tiny little bit of red, just a little tiny touch of red, just a bit. Look at that. That's all it took to get a lovely orange. If you want it a little bit darker, go with a little bit more. It's easier to make a paint darker than it is to go into lighter or again. So we have a lovely orange color, a tangerine, if you will. Okay. And we're going to go right over the tops of some of these yellow. I'm going to make this a little bit darker orange just so you guys at home can see a little bit better. So I'm throwing in a little bit more red. There. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but trust me, it's awesome. Okay, here we go. Gonna do some orange. Look at that, right on up here. I'm not going to go up to the top though. I want that to be a little bit different at the top. And if it's getting a little too wide for you, like there's a lot of paint right now that's like stuffed in between these bristles. So no matter how much I roll that around on the palette, it's not going to get any thinner. So in this case here, I'm actually going to wash out my paintbrush completely. Start again with a new, nice, cleaned paintbrush. Re-dip that into the yellow. Now I can get some really nice thin lines again. Look at that. What a difference. Lovely. Okay. So we have the first start of that little bit of orange on this side. See? It's different. That's okay. I hope yours is too. I don't want it to look like mine. This is your painting. All right. We're going to do, I'll hold this back up again for you guys. We're going to do this side now, okay? So we're going to be doing some pink. How do we make pink? White and red. Again, remember, the red color is very greedy. So you're going to take a lot of white, pull a lot of white out, make a nice little separate puddle of white and a little bit of red. Just start with a little bit. You can always make the color darker Lovely bubblegum pink. I'm going to go a little bit more tutti fruity pink, a little bit darker. It's a thing. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make filaments now on the left-hand side. Start from the middle. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Coming on down. Fantastic. Very nice. So you have this nice, lovely light pink here. Let's blend it a little bit now, okay? Let's add a little bit more red to that. So this is more of strawberry red or cherries. And I want some of that light pink to be popping through. That's why we're doing the layers. We don't want to cover up the beautiful color that we just put on there, right? We don't want that to disappear. But we do want to be able to see those individual little filaments. And we're going to put some on the other side too. We're going to pull this feather together. This is one feather. We are all in this together, right? Like a feather. I put a little bit down here, a little bit down in the downy part, the whiskers. Now we're going to go even a little bit darker. So you should have, I'm sorry if I'm going too fast, guys, but you should have that lovely cherry red, that strawberry red, and we're going to go into a little bit of blue. We want this to be a lovely lavender purple color now. I hope you all are having fun because I'm having a glorious time. Oh, this is a really lovely lavender color. So I should have done that on camera, my bad. But you want that cherry red, a little tiny bit of blue, and you should get this color here. Look at that. And because it's very similar to what's happening on the background here, we're only using this as an accent color. We're just going to kind of add this in. If you're losing a little bit of your feather, if it's looking kind of more blobbish, that's okay. Because our final step is going to help pull that feather back out again. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some of that purple, just a few hints here and there on this side. There we go. See, I put a purple line there. I'm not cool with that. I'm going to smoosh that off. I'm cheating. Ha-ha. Look what I can do. There we go. And what I just did there is just covered up a little bit of the scratching that I didn't want there. It's looking good. Okay, if you want to add any other colors, if you have some fun stuff at home too, if you've got glitter, go for it. Got glow-in-the-dark paint, go for it. If you don't, get it for next time. Okay. If you need to dry your canvas, you can always just wave it around the air too, okay? That's a good way to get that dry. Because this last little step here on our feather, on this particular feather, we want it to be a little bit on the dry side. Don't want it to be smushy too much. So I think we're good there. Give it a little test there, and that feels nice. So here we are. We lined up. Good to go. All right, guys. We're going to go baby brush into white paint. We're just going to kind of outline this feather again. So you can see where some of the lines are defined enough already, and that's fine. But maybe up here, I wanted to fix that up a little bit, okay? And you can put in those extra little white filaments again, hanging out. See? Just a little bit of an outline. I'm not pressing very hard. It's very, very light. Feather touch. Ha! Ba-doom ching. Okay, no, sorry. Okay.
Keep them going.
Yeah, I know. There we go. I'm loving it. Okay. Good. All right. Now, this over here should feel a little bit on the dry side too. If it's not, again, get your blow dryer out or wave it around the air a little bit. Okay. And we're going to write some words, hopefully not misspelled like what I did earlier. That's great. Okay, so we're going to write be free, live free. If you have some other inspirational saying that you want to say, if you want to say, hey mama, whatever, you can put it on here, whatever you want to have. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and practice cursive right now. So let's start with be free. You can all do this. I know you can. I have faith in you. Be one with the canvas. Look at that. Beautiful. I don't know about you guys, but I was like super excited about learning cursive when I was a kid. It's just like drawing. Okay, now for that big beautiful L. Shoo. L. I. V. E. There we go. Now you can mess with it any way you want. If you want to make it in gold, go for it. If you want to make it in do black instead of white, you can do that as well too. Make this any color you want. Okay, we're going to make the little downy feathers, all right? These little guys right here. We're going to throw in a couple of these guys. They look like they're hard. They're not. They're very easy. And the best way to think of them is kind of as letters. So we're going to make like some S shapes here. So let's do just a little tiny hook, little hooks. When you put in your feathers, have them in different directions. And you can put in as many or as little as you want. If you even want to have some that are more on the straight flying feather variety, then go for that too. I'm going to put a cute little curly Q right there. Oh, we're going to put one right under here. I think he needs to live there. Shoo. And just a couple here and right there. It should look like confetti. Just little bits here and there. Okay. I'm putting some more white paint on my paintbrush. Again, if it looks like it's too loaded up and those bristles are starting to splay on you a little bit, wash off your paintbrush and dip it back into the white paint, all right? So we're going to choose which side is going to be the stem and which side is going to be the top. So in this case here, I'll just pull this back over again. So this little guy right here, this is the top, and this is the bottom. We like to start with the bottom and move on up. So I'm going to make, remember the filaments, they like to point up towards the top. So that's kind of what we're going to do with these, okay? We're going to start off with really tiny little filaments at the bottom. And then we're going to make them nice and long at the top. So short little filaments at the bottom. Look at that. There's a little downy feather. How lovely is that? This guy's upside down. If it's hard for you guys to visualize a feather upside down because we just did this one, go ahead and turn your canvas upside down. That's totally fine. I won't tell anyone. All right. And as they get closer to the very top, they're a little bit longer. Nice. Go nuts with the feathers, guys. All your filaments are facing up towards the top. Just don't forget that nice little hint. Kind of following that curve right around. See how they're all kind of following the curve, that center curve that you just made, the S shape. Again, if you want to put in some more, then you can put in some more. I'll throw in the next one right here, just for fun. And I'm going to put in for, we have one little last step, guys. Let's put in some fairy dust. Just a couple of dots here and there. Ding, ding, ding. Just random places. Kind of looks like stars. Well, heck, if you even want to put in a star, then you can do that too. Straight line going up, straight line going down, all the way across. There we go. Look at that. A little bling. Let's put in another little bling right over here. Not on my original piece, but that's all right. Maybe there's something else you guys think of that you like to put on here, right? Maybe you want to put on like a comet. Or little puppies. Your choice. All right. That is a fabulous looking painting. I hope everybody is happy with their painting. If you have any questions or anything and you want to throw them at me, go right ahead. But other than that, that is a finished piece right there. So, if you guys liked this and enjoyed this, please remember to keep this in mind for the next painting. We do appreciate any tips or donations to keep us going. Again, my name is Erin Nelson, and I'm just one of the many artists here. And Ryan Stocks is the owner, and he did a fabulous job.
You did.
Oh, thank you. He said I did good. Yay, just Erin. Okay, so anyways, guys, thanks very much for joining us tonight, and we're going to do this again soon, so please join us for the next one, and we'll be posting the painting that we'll be doing on Facebook. So like us on Facebook. Other than that, though, thanks again, and cheerio. Okay?
Good job, Erin.
Yay!
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for joining us here. I'm gonna park it right here for a minute, chat with everybody. So So, we're gonna do a little break right now. We got some local music to share with you, some local small business sponsors that also helped make this happen. We're gonna kind of feature all that here for a little while. Dynamite Enterprises specifically, we thank them for helping us present this and getting a discount on our art kits. For future reference, if you don't have your materials, any art supplies whatsoever, you can buy them from our website and we'll deliver them to you or get them to you somehow. You know, we can go case by case basis there. But yeah, Dynamite Enterprises, and support your local everything. We appreciate their support. Go support them in return. Make Waves Media House is the reason we're able to do this at all. We're learning this live stream thing as we go, but it's a lot of fun, and we're excited just to keep building on it time after time. Again, we have the tip and donation link pinned in the comments on Facebook and on YouTube. It should be in the comments there as well. Anything is appreciated. It just helps us keep the lights on, helps us keep bringing this stuff to you, and pay our employees, and
That's me. Baby.
and just continue to develop and progress in what we're trying to do here. We want to bring you the best possible content that we can, and that helps us do it. So anything else I should say, John, before we cut away to our little video break?
Yes, thank you, John.
Yeah, John Kurtz, everyone, behind the scenes.
Yay!
Any technical issues were not his fault. They were probably mostly mine. So, take all the pressure off him. That's all on me. Yeah, if you painted along with us, send us a picture of your painting. Post it in the comments or send us a message. If whichever way, we'd love to see it and share it if you are up for that. But I'll get off screen now, and we'll talk to you again here in a few minutes. Thank you. Are up for that, but I'll get off screen now, and we'll talk to you again here in a few minutes. Thank you. I'll get off screen now, and we'll talk to you again here in a few minutes. Thank you.